Hello, everyone, and welcome to Paper Route Scrapbooking. I'm Nadine, and today I am going to be creating a layout out of some very tiny scraps. So I practiced this yesterday, and I do have a layout, not a layout, but a background sitting beside me because it took me a really long time. So I'm worried that it'll take me longer than the hour that I have agreed to be on here for you guys. So we'll just get started and then we'll see how it goes. And if we need more time, then um, we will just grab that one to my right. Okay. So I have a backup plan. Don't worry. We're not going to be here all night if it takes forever. Right. So, welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and join my channel for an hour of scrap happiness. I'm glad to be here. It always brings me joy to know that on Tuesday evenings, I have set aside an hour of my day to show up here and be here for you guys and scrapbook live with you. So that's exciting, right? Um, okay, so I am going to just make sure that I'm actually live somewhere. Okay, so we are, it looks like it, right? All right, sounds good. Okay, so we're there. We're good. Things are happening. Excellent. So I am going to show you a technique that I learned from Allison Davis. And when I post on my Facebook page, I will put a link to Allison Davis's stuff. She works for Scrapbook Generation. She's an incredible teacher and an incredible creator. She does a lot of free content, but she also has classes that you can buy and digital content you can buy. They have a Facebook group. Her and her mom are in business together. I think her sister too. Anyway, she's very talented creator. And this is a technique that I learned from her. So, all these tiny little squares that you see over here, I've already kind of sorted the ones that were already cut into color families. So we have pink, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and I put black at the bottom. Okay. I did pull out some that I had that were just like neutral, but they don't look good on this particular background. Now I'm cheating today because if you look carefully at my background page, and I say I'm cheating, but this is something that I would encourage you to try if you're going to try this layout, is to use a grid paper. It's going to help you to just kind of stay on track, not get too far off the beaten path because it can be very frustrating to use all the tiny pieces, right? So this kind of keeps me lined up. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pencil and I am going to go around my layout at the 1/2 inch mark because this is where I am going to cut my layout apart, okay? Um, so that I can mat it on a different cardstock. And the reason I'm going to already plan for that is because I know that my finished product is going to have like jaggedy edges and it's not going to be perfect. And also because the pattern is so busy, that mat around the back is going to give it a little bit of like containment or definition, I guess, around the outside of the layout. So that's exciting. That's how I like my layouts to look. So yeah, I'm just going to I'm using my grid ruler and I'm just drawing a 1/2 inch around all four sides. And that's how I'm going to know where I have to actually get the pattern to go up to that line at the very least and cross it if I can. Okay. So that's my first job. Then I'm going to take it and I'm leaving this on here for now because I'm going to end up cutting right there. Doesn't matter. Okay, so then I'm going to take this same grid ruler. Now, this is an 18-inch ruler. I love this thing because guess what? It goes not that we're using that today, but it goes corner to corner on a 12 by 12 page. That's kind of why I bought it, but I also love the grid. It's so helpful. It's in inches. which is how we measure our scrapbook papers, right? Sorry, I'm reflecting the light. And then I can line things up nicely with a grid, right? So here I have my 12, I'm going to measure 12 inches in from, and I'm just going to keep it on that half-inch line, and I'm going to find the center and see kind of, so my center line is going to be about here. Okay, so that's where I want to start. So hello, Alana, you made it. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for joining me tonight. Everybody feel free to comment. I love seeing who's here and chatting with you guys. It makes the video go so much better for me. So that's where we're at. So I only have 2 of the black, but we'll start with those. And I'm just going to ink around the edges with my Black Soot Distress ink, just to give them a little bit of definition. And that's always, like I say, an optional thing. Not everybody feels like they need that. They like the look of the edge of the paper. Everybody likes their own thing. So do what makes you happy. Don't do it just because Nadine does it. Okay, so then I am going to just put some ATG on the back of this. I thought about using white glue, but I'm afraid that if I need to lift things up, the white glue might dry too fast. So all I'm doing is taking the line that was closest on the grid paper to the center of the page, and I'm putting this corner on it. And then at the top corner is going to go, and it's going to follow this same line. I know it's really hard to see on camera, but I'll just lift that up so you can see what I mean. So I chose a line, decided where it was in the middle, and followed that line so I know where to line up that top corner. Okay. Now I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I'm going to do all of this, and it's not going to be perfect because I'm not perfect and my trimmer's not perfect. I would love my trimmer to be perfect, wouldn't you? So yeah, the trimmer's not always like, and also even if you just move your paper like a smidgen, right? It's still 1 inch essentially, but it's like a little hair off. So these are not all going to line up to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? So next up, I'm going to see where this lands. So I'm going to match these 2 corners here, this one at the bottom, and then I'm going to find what line that goes to, and I'm going to try to get my other top piece to line up there. Okay. Now this is a little bit off, but that's okay. I'll promise you that in the end, a little bit of overlap is not going to matter. Okay. So don't worry about, you want it to look neat and tidy, but you don't need it to be precision, right? Nobody's going to take a magnifying glass to your layout and call the layout police. Okay. So those are my only 2 black pieces. So now I need to go into my, where I sorted all of my scraps, and I need to find some black that's, and I want it to be approximately 1 inch if possible already. So I only have to cut a piece off of it. Okay. So I already went through all of these, I think, and pulled out all the ones that were 1 inch. And that's where those little squares came from. Not these ones though. Are these still? Okay. I don't know, but that was where I got all those little ones. So I feel like all the 1 inch squares are out of there. And now I need something that is black. So it's like playing I Spy. I spy a paper that is, there's one, that is black in color. There's one, there's one. Okay. And then they hopefully will be about 1 inch because they look like they are. And I find that this is a pretty common size that we cut off of our paper for some reason. I don't, or maybe other people don't. I have no idea. But so I'm going to cut a couple of these and a couple of these. And I think I already had one of these, so I'll just cut one more. Was this even 1 inch? I didn't even measure it. No, that one's too small, so we don't want that one. And Okay, so I do want a little something else. So I didn't find anything else in there. So we're going to go over here, see what else we can find. I spy with my little eye polka dots that are black, but I want something more like this. And maybe, I can't see what's on the other side of this, but it looks dark and not black. And that's green. There's some black. But see how I can use like these, oh, this can go over here, these teeny tiny scraps. I know that people don't always keep the scraps this small, and honestly, with a lot of my collections, neither do I. But with my Vicki Boutin stuff, I think I keep everything. It's a problem. Not a problem, but it's hard for me to get rid of it because it's all so stinking pretty. Has anybody watched any of my what am I calling them? Organization purging videos yet? I've posted a couple. I'm getting rid of a bunch of stuff. Just you wait. I have to move my craft room, so now's the time. I say have to like it's a bad thing. I'm moving my craft room. Hi, Ruth. Welcome. I'm so glad that you made it here. YouTube made me jump a couple of new hoops today, but you made it. Oh, well, I'm so glad you stuck with it. I know sometimes they can be a little bit difficult, but it's working a lot better for me on my end to use YouTube and not Facebook. So hopefully everybody can find their way over and do the things. One, and I'll make two of each maybe. We'll see how many we need. So if my last layout is any indication, you need between 60 and 70 of these little squares to complete a background. Okay. So that's not wanted in there. So we'll see if we still need that one. I'm just going to set that aside for a second. So yeah, it's I did some purging videos, and looks like Ruth has watched a couple of them or one of them. And in those videos, I'm pretty ruthless with what I'm getting rid of. Like I have to clean out some space. I have to. Okay, here's my confession. I have 4. How many are up there, I wonder? Probably at least a dozen collections that I can't physically put away because there's no space. Yeah, true story. So if I want to keep buying new things like that, then I need to make room, right? But yeah, there's a lot of things in here that can go because I go through phases, and some of my phases are finished. So again, I'm lining up the corner, and then this is going down onto that pencil line that I made. Okay. And then we'll do another one of these on the end. So I have also been like yanking scraps out of there and started a, what do we call it? Like I want to say like a bag or box, I guess. I guess it's a bag right now, but it's going to turn into a box because it's already full of scraps. And anything basically that isn't like a 3x4 size is going in that bag. And then in some collections, I'm like, nope, that's all going in there. I'm over it. Get it out of here. So it's been kind of interesting to go through the process. I thought I cut 2 of these. Maybe I flaked. So yeah, it's been good, but I not threw away, but I'm starting a yard sale. I say that like I don't have a closet full of stuff already that needs to go to a yard sale. I also have that. 2 closets actually. And but I've started another box with this kind of series that I started, more for accountability for myself than anything else. But I what was I saying? I started the yard sale box, and I had a comment the other day that if this viewer didn't live in the US, she'd be at my garage sale because she can't believe what I'm throwing out. I was like, oh boy. Yeah, it's pretty wild. So the stars next. I'm just kind of making the same pattern. So like this one to this one, and then the stars. See what I'm saying? But it looks like I haven't included this yet, so it can go on there too. Oops. I think this is gonna look so cool when it's finished. It's gonna be awesome. I hope you all are finding my use of scraps interesting and educational. And if you're here just for the chit chat, I welcome you. You're my people. I watch a lot of videos just for the chit chat. And do you ever go through those phases where you're like, okay, I'm in a purging phase, so I'm watching other people's cleaning supply, like what am I not cleaning supplies? Cleaning scrap supplies or purging craft supplies, organization, craft room organization stuff. And I found this lady, Nikki K is her name. And so she seems like a kind of a newer content creator. She's been around for a bit, but if you guys want to go over there and give her some love, I would really appreciate that. It's Nikkik. And she has some really great videos of her. She has way more stuff than I have, which makes me wow, first of all. But she comes from a whole long line of scrapbookers. So, like when her grandma passed away, her and her aunties like split grandma's craft supplies among them. And so she has some really amazing things in her craft stash. Alrighty, let's see. Here we have this kind of, so we only have one of those. This is kind of this can go, I only need 2 of these, so I'm going to put the other one in the pink. Or here, we'll do this pink. Okay, and then we have one more of these. So basically 2 of these and 2 of these. So we need some more purples. So we're going to put the black ones back into the craft scrap organization tray. It's like, what am I calling this? It's a tray. And I'm looking for purple. And I need it to be at least 1 inch wide. So that would be right about here, maybe. So again, I spy with my little eye the same purple I already have in my 1 inch squares. This one I don't have yet. And what else I got? Nope, not there. How about through here? Let's go through these little bits. No purple. There's purple. And we'll see if we can find one more purple. Nope. Nope. And is that purple? No, that's gray. Pink, green, still not purple. Barney, where are you? Just kidding. I don't want him here. The big purple dinosaur. Okay, let's look in this bundle. Got to be another piece of purple in here somewhere, right? Oh, that's pink. And got orange. I'm going to put that up there because I don't see a ton of that. And pink and blue and yellow. No, that's green. What am I talking about? Goodness, maybe I'm colorblind too. Oh gosh, you guys, I don't know if I told you guys this yet or not, but I went last weekend and picked up my bifocals because I was told I can't wear contact lenses anymore. So I caved and bought the bifocals. Guys, the struggle is real. I mostly am fine with them, but going down anything, so stepping off a curb, going down the stairs, basically just, things that have to happen in a day are uber dangerous all of a sudden because my depth perception wasn't good to begin with. And now I have this like blurry vision when I look down, and oh heavens, yeah. Safety first. And my eyes are tired today. And I think it's because, well, partly because I work on the computer a lot and I have stuff going on at work that's making me be on the computer even more than I normally am. And then, all that annual and semi-annual reporting stuff. And anyway, we also are renovating our downstairs. So then that has kept me upstairs, which is good because I'm like, I can't do the stairs. But my eyes are so tired. And I went to go look at the downstairs and I was like, nope. And I took 2 steps down and decided to just back up that train because I was like, this is not safe for anyone. What is happening? So I have this one, and this one, and then one of these. Is that going to be enough? Or do I need to cut one more? This one, and this one. I do need one more. Okay. So yeah, it's been funny. I sometimes think people should follow me around with a camera and get real money off of YouTube because I ain't making any money on YouTube, but somebody could just by following me around with a camera. I'm a disaster. Okay, there we go. And then I grabbed some colored ink to ink my edges with. So I grabbed some, what is this? Seedless preserves. And I grabbed oxides. I don't know why. I think I just opened that drawer first. No reason. They also already have like the labeled applicators. I want to call them daubers. I'm not sure that's a word that everybody uses, but it's my word. And I should start in the middle. Like I said at the beginning, would be nice if I followed my own advice, right? So where are we at for time? Yeah, see, this has already taken me 25 minutes. So basically what I'm doing is I'm not filling in this space. I'm making like, it's like kind of like a quilt pattern, but the background's going to show through because we're not filling all the space. You see what I'm saying? So this is going to line up again with the line that goes through the middle. Okay. And then we're going to work out from there. So yeah, I think it took me a little over an hour to cover up the other one, to find the papers, to cut them, to ink them, to put the pattern, or yeah, put them in the pattern I wanted onto the paper. So I knew that this was going to take longer than we had. So that's why I prepared a whole background already with this same pattern. So you'll get to see what that looks like. But it turns out so cool. And I like that it leaves this white space in behind. And the last, well, not like the one that's waiting for me here, but the last time I tried this technique, I did it on like a white background. No bueno. It was so crooked. I was so frustrated. But the grid paper helps because even if I only start that one using that grid, it lines things up so much better. Oh, look, there's purple on the back of that too. Those are cute. Maybe I'll ink the other side of that one for the next one. It's purple hearts on the other side. Okay. So we're just going to add this one in. This is that last one I cut. It's so funny because some of these are American Crafts Vicki Boutin, and some of them are 49 and Market Vicki Boutin. And I can tell which paper company it's from just by picking up the scrap. Right? And then you can even sometimes tell which ones came out of the paper pad because they're even thinner. But that could just be an older piece of paper. Oh, I wanted to do this side. Look at those cute purple hearts. They're so cute. This wasn't the next one anyways. What was supposed to be after this? Oh yeah, it is. Just doing things so crazy. No rhyme or reason. So what's everybody else been up to? Ruth, are you at Starbucks or are you at home tonight? Alana says, so it should be on a grid paper. When you are done, you won't want to cover it with the photos and embellishments. I mean, yes and no. So if you are that kind of person who would, your budget is more limited or you just don't want to waste the paper, you can always put down your photos first and trace out where they're going to be, just kind of like I did this edge, just so you know where your pattern needs to end. And you can go around your photo spots too. Just make sure that it goes under where the photos will go and then leave the inside of that square blank because you don't need to put the grid where the photos are going to be. However, then be aware that it's going to be harder to line up your pattern, right? If you're continuous with the pattern, and that's why I do it this way, even though yes, some of it will get covered up. I'll show you that when I do my layout. It's going to be harder to keep it on par on the grid. Okay, so last one. Okay, so you get the idea. So it's like diamond. So they're little squares, but we're putting them down in diamond position. And we're doing corner to corner. So it leaves a row in between. Okay, so that is the technique. I was going to just keep going up in different colors, right? Blue, yellow, orange, pink. And I'll probably finish that off camera sometime. I'd like to say tonight, but I'm tired. So here's the one that I did in advance. And I did it more monochromatic, but if you look, the grid paper is blue and then it goes ombre all the way up to the white. Okay, so I did the opposite with my squares. I did white and it goes all the way up to blue. Okay, so not just white, but neutral as well. And then I stamped with my stitching stamp. So it looks kind of quilted, right? You can also draw stitching lines. You can sew on your page if you want. But can you see how I cut it? And you can kind of see where the corners of that are. And then this is where I started mine. So the bottom kind of shows the, I don't know, corners, but the other edges don't, because I just wanted to make sure that they were crossing those edges enough that when I cut it off, it's going to go all the way. The pattern goes all the way. Okay. So now it looks fine on camera the way I'm looking at it. However, if you look really closely, it's perfectly unperfect. Do you see that whole stamping issue right here with the ink bleeding? Here where it doesn't connect. And then some of the squares don't quite line up because, like I said, my paper trimmer isn't always perfect, right? But when you look at it as a big picture, it's okay that it's not perfect. It still looks super cool, right? Okay, so here is what I'm scrapbooking today. So first of all, one of my other goals, and I think we talked about this last time because I modified the piece that I used, but we have all of these clusters left from my Vicki Boutin classes, or I have, and I want to get them on some pages. So that's kind of where I chose my color palette from. Oh, Ruth is at Starbucks. Good on you, girl. I couldn't find my water cup, so I'm drinking a Coke Zero. Probably don't need that before I go to bed, but okay. Yeah, so I'm just going to use my Black Soot Distress ink from here on out on everything. That's what I inked all of the edges on for this one. And I'm just going to ink around, but this is one of the clusters we made in the Discover and Create class that I took with her. So I do the whole workshop. So if you go to vickyboutin.com, if you're in Canada, you can order right from Vicki and you don't have to pay the fees for shipping over the border. If you're in the States, she has somebody down there doing her shipping, so you don't have to pay that extra shipping fee to ship from Canada either. So she has a really good thing going there. It makes me happy, and I am going to continue purchasing her workshops because I like that I can buy all the pretty things from her and she shows me how to use most of them. Okay, so I do have tons left over, but if I would stop buying extras, I wouldn't have this much left over. I need to learn these things, you guys. This is what I think I'm taking away from this whole purging experience is that I need to do things different. Anyway, so this is super cute. And yes, it does cover up quite a bit in this corner, right? But just like with any pretty background, you're going to cover some of it up. It's totally cool. Then I have 2 pictures of my cutie pie granddaughter when she was tiny, and she is sitting on her puppy, and they still sit like this. So I think this is super cute that she just like, there's my dog, and she just snuggles right up to her and uses her like a cushion. And the dog just lays there like, whatever. Them's my kids. She's so good with kids, that dog. I don't know. I was worried when they got her because I was like, you got a what kind of dog? And it's a bull mastiff mixed with shepherd. And so this dog is huge. Like when she stands on her hind legs, she's taller than me. And she likes to do that. She likes to put her paws on my shoulders like we're dancing. And she ain't tiny. She's not light to hang on to, but and then these, I haven't decided quite how I want to put them, but I was thinking like either here or like in a kind of film strip style this way, which sometimes it's easier when I can see it on the camera, to be honest with you. So let's see. Yeah, I kind of like this better. Okay, so here is, I grabbed a scrap. Now I don't know if this will fit the way I want it to because I didn't measure it for this kind of style, but we'll see. I just had this scrap from my purging actually in a stack of cardstock scraps that needed to be put away. And I was like, that one matches, I'm going to grab that. So I grabbed it right off the stack. Now, I don't know if Paula is here, but yes, this seems to be an issue for me as well, where Paula brought this up to me the other day where when she prints 4x6 photos on the 6x6 format on the, what's it called? PictureMate 400, it leaves this little like different, it's like not exactly 4x4s. You have to like trim some off. And yeah, it's a thing. So anyway, I'll just trim that down and hope for the best. So I just tap it down, take my scissors, cut my picture so that they're the same size. It's like one's just a smidgen bigger than the other, and it's just super weird. I don't know why it's a 4x6 that should translate into 2 perfect 3x4s, but apparently not. So I like to sometimes ink the edges of my photos, not always. It just depends. Depends on my mood, I guess. I don't really have any rhyme or reason for it. Sometimes if I use paper that isn't the the best, like if I don't use Epson paper in the Epson printer, sometimes when you cut it, it leaves a little bit of a white on that edge, and I would be fine with it if it was on all the edges, but it's only on the edge that I trimmed. So then I'll usually ink it so you can't see that. But that was not the case today. This is Epson paper. I used it in the Epson printer. I cut it and it was fine, but I still inked it anyway. Like I said, no rhyme or reason. I'm just doing the things. So I also wanted to tell you guys, on Friday last week, so after the last time I was here, the Friday there, I went to Calgary with my mom and her friend Karen, and we went to the Great Canadian Scrapbook Carnival in Calgary, and it was at a community center that, I mean, it was pretty good. We the venue looked clean and organized. They had a restaurant there. Well, they had like a cafeteria space, and then I think there was a restaurant underneath of the place because we saw people going down there. I don't know if that was a bar though. But anyway, then we did a bunch of shopping. So at the carnival, a whole bunch of different stores set up booths. So they had Scrap Addicts took over the carnival part from Katarina and I can't remember the other girl's name. From the used to be Canadian Scrapbooker, now it's Creative Scrapbooker magazine, and now they're out of business. And so with that, the carnival was going to go by the wayside as well. Excuse me. And then the people at Scrap Addicts, which is a store in Edmonton, took over the carnival. So they hosted it. They had a booth there. And then they had a bunch of other stores there as well. So where else did I shop? I shopped at Scrap Addicts and Scrap Shots, which I think is out of Calgary, and Paper Art Creations, which is out of Leduc. There were other things too. Oh, what's her name? Is Kathy here? The Chantel, that's her name. She used to have a store in Edmonton, and now she makes her own paper collections. And they are called Simply Stated Designs. Look her up if you haven't already. She makes beautiful stuff, and you can order online as well. And she like makes to order. So if you order a collection, she'll just cut it out for you, print it for you, and send it to you. So you don't have to like wait for shipping overseas or any of that kind of stuff. So that's awesome. And she has, like I said, beautiful stuff. And then they also had like Stampin' Up, Creative Memories. They had this thing that was like not paint by number, but paint by layer. Then it layers up into a little diorama. It was so cute. The Makery, I think that one was called. You can look at it in my I bought one for a gift, and it's in my haul video if you're interested in seeing what I bought at the carnival. But I thought they did a really good job. I know that's a very big undertaking. A retreat like that, 2 days long, all the vendors, all the organization for food, and not that people get fed there, but like making sure that there's a place for them to eat, making sure there's adequate bathrooms and all of that kind of stuff. I know that can be a massive undertaking. So they did a really good job. Sorry, I'm just looking for my embellishments. I hid them on myself very well. So because this little embellishment cluster was from Discover and Create, I pulled my Discover and Create leftover stuff. And the first thing I want to do is find a title. I also printed my journaling, so I can put that on here. Don't know where I'm going to put it. I'm I might just tuck it actually. We'll see. We'll see at the end. We'll leave it. Leave it for a minute. See what I want to do with it after I get my title on. So what do I want to call this? There's titles in here, story worth telling. This is, I really like that when they did this, that where it was like color organized. That's kind of my jam. There's also some alphas back there. Story worth telling. This here. And then this happened. That's cute. Could use that. What do we got on here? Looks like all the big titles are gone. And then we have, I don't know if this is from this collection or not, but they had a lot of titles left on it, so I grabbed it. Just Be Happy is cute. Yeah, I think I'll use that one. It's a really like brassy gold. Okay, so if you like this idea, you can rewatch after this post. So after I turn it off, as soon as it uploads to YouTube, you can watch the replay of it. And you can watch it as many times as you like to get the pattern and stuff from the beginning of the video, okay? And make your own background. If you do that, I would love to see what you make. Tag me, message me, however you want to share. I would love to see what you do. I think that it's very cool when you guys scrap lift me. I create to inspire. Don't ever be afraid to copy what I do. Okay. And then this one. It's an interesting J. There we go. And I'll probably after go around this in white pen, like especially where it's on the dark right here, because it'll just help it to stand out. So a little white pen goes a long way. It's one of my tricks for putting down alphas. Okay. And then we have our little journal spot that I wanted to see where my stuff would go first. I want to kind of make it part of this cluster, but I already glued everything down. It'll be okay. Okay, so I'm going to ink this. I don't want to cover up more of my squares. I just want to add to this little spot. Did I scrap? Alana wants to know, did I scrapbook while I was there? And was that an option? It was an option, and I have done it in the past. Most of the years, I would say, I've scrapbooked there. So much so that last year when I showed up with my mom and we weren't scrapbooking, Katerina, she ran the magazine, stopped us at the door and was like, wait, why are you not scrapbooking? And we were like, but the true answer to that, right? My new role in my job requires me to be in town on the weekends for the time being. And until I don't know, make change or change jobs or change something about that contract, it's just what it is. So I get Saturdays off. I'm not working, like I'm not in the office. I just have to be available if somebody calls in sick. I have to be available if anybody's worked on call, they'll understand. I have to be available if someone's sick. I have to be available if the police get called or if Child and Family Services shows up. I have to attend. So, you know, it is what it is. It's the kind of job I have. Supervisory role was never my goal, just so you know. I wanted to be somebody's assistant for my whole life, but I'm pretty passionate about this program. So when that position came available, I took it because I knew how to do the job. But yeah, so that's just where I'm at. And I was like, I'm sorry. But no, I didn't crop this time. We just shopped. But so you pay $5 to get into the thing and you just shop. or you can pay the 85 to there's different packages. So you get a gift bag with it. It's not, well, you're paying for the bag, but um at different levels. So the bigger you pay, the more stuff you get, I guess. And then there is also like the option to pay for more space. So if a half a table is not enough for you, you pay $50 and get a bigger table. Um, so that was an option too, I noted. But yeah, there was lots of people scrapbooking there. The theme this year was farm. And oh my gosh, if you go on there, I can't remember if it was Scrap Addicts or the Facebook page for the carnival. They had a parade of costumes. Hilarious. Watch it. So, yes, there were lots of people scrapbooking. That's definitely an option. And no, I haven't for quite a while. But someday I'll be back. No worries. And it is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to connect. It's a lot of fun to shop all weekend. It's a lot of fun to talk to other like-minded friends. It's very cool. There's another, so they do the carnival in Calgary and then they do it in Edmonton a little while later. So this will happen again. I wrote down the dates for you. I just don't know what I put where I put it. It's May 22nd and 23rd, and it's in actually Sherwood Park, not Edmonton. So Millennium Place. And it's worth it. It's so fun. If you can make it there, do it. We usually go to that one, the Edmonton one, and get a hotel because there's a hotel in the same parking lot. And so we usually just stay right there. So worth it. So fun, so enjoyable, and awesome to be like with all the people and doing all the things. But not gonna happen for me today. Okay. So we have this one. And this is where I'm going to tuck this in and put my date on here. See, this purple matches with this, so I'm bringing that color up here. And I preset my date stamp. I got my black ink. And I'm just gonna put that on there. So we have a date and journaling and photos and a title. Pretty much a done deal, but I'm just going to peek through here and see what else I would like to add. So I think I'm going to add these little floral bits up here where my title is. Oh, there we go. It's not fitting in there. There we go. I think I'm going to add this little feather into my cluster because it's so cute. And I just think it will bring this lighter color, and I kind of want to cover up that point on my banner. It looks funny sticking out of there. What else? Anything else? Maybe a little heart. Okay. Do I have any more of those gold dots? I do. So I'm going to add those. I think I'm going to put this clip at the top. That'll be really cute on here. And then I want one here and one up here. And that just brings that gold around the page a little bit. Okay. And I think that's about it. I don't know if there's anything on here I want to use. Maybe some little I like this one here that says, and I'm not even mad about it. I think that's funny. More for Nova than for Emmy, but Emmy too. She's like, dog's in my spot. I'm sitting here anyway. Okay. So that is the finished product. And doesn't it look cool? Instead of just that grid paper in the background, even though the grid ombre is beautiful, I love what that quilting pattern does to the layout. So fun. And yes, I covered a lot of it up. But like I said, you could lay this stuff down, draw around it with a pencil, and then just do the grid kind of around and then maybe along the bottom, right? So that you're not using all of those extra pieces if that's a concern for you, right? So I think that's the end of my page. I also wanted to remind everybody that National Scrapbook Day is coming up. So, National Scrapbook Day is always the first Saturday in May, and that's coming up. Um, Let me know if there's anything that you see. I will make a post on my Facebook page that just says, like, hey, what's everybody doing for National Scrapbook Day? And if you know of any events or um, draws to enter or challenges to attend to, put them in there. I'll put links to the couple that I know about. So there is something happening on Paige Evans' Happy Scrappy Place. I know I've mentioned that one before because I really love um, her Facebook page. She gives away cut files in there all the time, which I adore. Her stuff is just so stinking gorgeous. And I just yeah, I can't say enough good things about how kind and lovely she is. But I know that you can, join her on National Scrapbook Day, and she puts out challenges. Then I also know that, Scrapbook Generation, so Allison Davis, the one I was saying is where I got this idea from. She and her mom and her sister put on an amazing, amazing scrapbook National Scrapbook Day event, and it's online, but I think it costs like $5 or $10. So you go to their store website, you pay the $5 or $10, you get a private Facebook group that stays active for a full year. So if you don't finish the challenges on National Scrapbook Day or that weekend, you still have the full year to refer back to that page. And there's a lot of good content in there too. Her whole family is very talented. So her and her mom make the most beautiful scrapbook pages and digital collections and such. So anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing. So I'll put those on my Facebook page. You guys can add anything that you see happening. All right. So it was great to see everybody here. Thank you so much for chatting with me, Ruth and Alana. I appreciate you both so much. And I hope everybody has a great rest of your week. And I will be back on Tuesday next week at 6 o'clock Mountain Time, and we will create another layout with our scraps. And I will see you then. Bye for now.